Well, welcome into the Time Report podcast. Yes, a new era to the channel. My name is Jack Weber. Appreciate y'all tuning in today. We have a lot to be talking about today. The game versus the Denver Broncos Tennessee Titans game recap. This is the first one of the season. If y'all can subscribe, share, do whatever y'all can for the show. I would greatly appreciate it. And as you can tell in the mood, of course, that was a tough loss. We had that game. We seriously had that game, and we're gonna break it all down. And I don't know how much time it's going to take. We're talking about college football towards the end of the show also, because there's some teams we need to talk about. And the top 25 is out. So let's talk about that also at the end of the show. Currently, right now, Baltimore Ravens and the Bills are playing Sunday Night Football. I'm filming this. Yes, I'm filming this on Sunday night as the moment. Derrick Henry has almost the same yards as Tennessee Titans offense has. Derrick Henry has 7 carries, 101 yards, average 14.5 and a touchdown. That is almost more than 135 yards on the offense alone. Speaking of that, Titans gave up 131 yards in penalties. 131 yards. That cannot happen in a football game. That is just flat out ridiculous. Let's kind of break on, let's do drive summary. It's kind of how we're going to do it today. I'm going to put some analysis in there, and we'll kind of go from there. All right, so the Titans got the football first. Denver deferred to the Titans. The Titans got only 33 yards in 3 minutes on this one. Joey Sly got a 50-yard field goal. It's 3-0 Titans. You're feeling good about that, right? Then Denver goes down 44 yards in 3:23 also. It's tied 3-3. Okay, and then the Titans have to punt on this drive. Unfortunately, Cam Ward made it was an incomplete pass, couple incomplete passes. Again, penalty, legal formation. That's just not Spurs. Then the Titans get a pick. Huge. Roger McCleary gets a huge interception. You love that, right? You got to take on these turnovers. We talked about this a couple episodes ago. This is a huge start if the Titans get a couple turnovers and put pressure on Bo Nix. And then what do you know? The Titans give up a fumble right there. So after you just got a pick, you all of a sudden just fumble the football and you give the ball right back to Denver. And then goes back to a punt for Denver, and then the Titans get a bunt. And then, so Bo Nix got sacked on this one by Jeffrey Simmons. Sebastian Joseph Day got the fumble, and the Titans now get a chance. But the red zone was horrible today for the offense on both sides of the ball, really, but the Titans was way worse. The Titans only get a field goal out of this. And this is what we're going to talk about in a little bit. You did not get a touchdown when you had turnovers. That's why you did not win this football game. Not because of the penalties. That's one reason. Because you cannot score when you get a turnover. Okay? You gotta go drive, especially where you are. And that was horrible play execution. The Titans had this ball on the Denver 38, and they get a field goal out of this. Frustrating. Then they both exchanged punts. Okay, this was the most stupidest thing. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. You got a punt, okay? And you're at your own yard line because somebody, James Williams, I'm not trying to say this is on him, make a penalty, right? So now you're at the Tennessee 7. What does Callahan do, right? It's right before halftime, right? You have 40 seconds. You decide to go pass for all 3. You decide not to run the ball. You take Pollard off the field. You do not run the ball to take off the clock. Yes, Denver had a couple timeouts. Try to run down that clock as much as you can. You don't go pass. That's horrible. Then you give Denver the ball back, and guess what? 11 seconds, they go down and go score. And Cam got sacked at the 1. That could have been a safety. That right there just executed. Look, we could have gone to halftime in a 6-3 ball game, but it's 10-6. The fact that you did not even think about running the ball to take off the clock. You just wanted to pass for 3 and get your quarterback killed right there. That's irritating. So then the Titans get lucky because Seymour DK goes for 71 yards on a kick return. We got very lucky with that. Now it's 9-9. It's now 10-9 Denver. And then when you go in the second half, you think things are starting to get better, right? Nope. So Bo Nix on the third play, throws an interception to Xavier Woods. He took it for 16 yards. Then it's a field goal. So again, We're seeing the same pattern. You can't go down and go score. That is the whole problem here. And it keeps repeating itself. You start at the 26, the 23 of the Denver. You cannot score. What type of plays is Callahan calling? Why is it just run, run, pass? Or just run, run, run? That just makes no... I don't get that. So Denver goes down and they also get a field goal. Okay. So now it's 13-12. Okay. Then the Titans punt. So it's now punts. And then now the defense is getting tired at this point because they're out there almost every series. The Titans are not getting off the field and making sure the defense gets some rest. And Denver goes 80 yards and 145 and gets a touchdown. So you're like, oh, great. So the Titans give up after that touchdown. Titans punt again. And look, I'm not blaming this game all on the coaching. I'm just saying a lot of this game has to be on the coaching. And you know what? The defense, I know third downs was a little bit struggling today, right? I know third down wasn't the best. Some penalties also as well. But they kept the Titans in the game when they needed it. They made some pretty good stops when the Titans offense needed to get back on that field. That's what's most frustrating in my opinion. You do not take advantage of what you got. And that's exactly what the coaching did not do today. So again, after that, Bo Nix got a turnover right there because he tried to sneak it up the field, but Sweat made a nice play. Titans punted the ball again. So Ridley missed a bad pass. It was, a good pass. Ridley just dropped it. You're getting pretty intense here. So again, that's 58 seconds off the clock right there. So then Denver goes down. Monty Hooker gets a face mask. I'm like, oh great, this is not good at all. And then I hate this play for two reasons. I get it. Jeffrey Simmons is aggressive when we talked about this earlier with him and Cam Ward. And that scenario, when the refs have been shitty to you all day long, and it's not just one play on Jarvis Brownlee. No, they've been horrible all day long. And that's the truth on both sides of the ball. You do not, after when the whistle was blown, throw somebody on the ground like that. I don't care if it's just a shove. No, absolutely no. That just makes no. You just don't do that. So again, that's on Jeff Simmons right there, and he took accountability tonight after the game. You especially when the Titans just made a stop on defense. No, you don't want to go the wrong way here. I'm sorry, I know I said a word, but that's the whole point in this game. It was just sloppy penalties after sloppy. This whole game was a disaster on both sides. And then, you get the ball back. And, Ridley, it was off his hands. Again, third drop. I mean, two of these were on Ridley. 100%. Cam Ward threw a lot of nice balls today. And then Chig made a bad drop. And obviously, you bring 8 on the line. Of course, you're going to get pressure. And then Cam Ward got sacked for the 6th time today. It was a fumble, recovered, game over, adios. So, this whole game was just so inconsistent on both sides of this ball. After 131 stupid penalties. Yes, 131. That's ridiculous. Also, as a play earlier, I do want to bring up as well. Eric Eilmaner made a nice catch out of bounds. Inbounds. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to diss Callahan. His elbow was inbounds, and the fact that he says an elbow doesn't equal 2 feet. What in the world, bro? At this point, I'm not saying who's right and who's wrong, but in the rule book, if you have a piece of your body inbound beside your hand, that's a catch. The fact that you or upstairs did not see that makes me irritated to the point that does not make any sense as a coach. That's frustrating. There was a couple plays. Bo Nix got called on a first down. Should have challenged that one as well. It's incorrect. I don't understand. Another thing that made no sense to me. L'Jarius Sneed was pissed, and he was very disappointed after this game, and I don't blame him. Who let him play for 19 snaps? None in the second half. My question here is, why did you have him play all 19 in one half and not some in the second half? You could have split them up instead of putting them all in one, especially when we needed Sneed. Sneed's a good player. I mean, Sneed's fine. Look, I don't understand who is running this team at this point. That's pretty frustrating. And yeah, Callahan, you should be disappointed. 13 for 131. Actually, there's 15 penalties. A couple got declined. That's pretty disappointing. The biggest thing today, like I told y'all, 6 points out of 4 forced turnovers. 6 points. 6. The fact that you start at the 23 and the fact that you cannot go try and score a touchdown, that is the worst stat of all time I've probably ever heard, besides the 13 for 131. There's a lot of cleanup next week, and we got the Rams, and that is going to be a tough game. That is going to be a tough game next week, and they just got to win against Houston, and that's not going to be good for the offense next week either. So leaders today on offense, Cam Ward was 12 for 28. 112, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Did not turn over the ball, which is pretty positive today. Tony Pollard for 18 for 60, as long as 9, and then no touchdowns. Same with Deemer DK, got a rush as well. Chestnut did not even come in much at all. Again, that's another thing. Callahan did say that Chestnut was going to get some action, and he did not get any action at all. Tony Pollard got a catch for 29 yards, first play of the game. Ridley got 4 for 27, targeted 8 times. Chick Okawanu got 3 for 19. And then you got Gunnar Helm, 1 catch for 16. Should have had 2. That's another BS call. I mean, he had possession of the ball when he was going out of bounds. That is not an incomplete pass. I think that should have been first down again. Eric Eimer had 2 for 13. Bryce Oliver had 1 for 8. Frustrating day. Really, really frustrating. Again, the fact that you had a good first half, and then the fact that the second half no. That's very frustrating. I hope they look at this. And honestly, another thing to note, that Callahan took a long time to not talk on the presser today. He took probably 30 minutes after. I made it all the way home before Callahan did speak on the presser today. Man, again, offensive line is going to be a big question mark. Right tackle. The tackles need to be talked about. JC along with Dan Moore. JC's dealing with a hip. We don't know what's going on with that at the moment. I haven't heard anything since then. But we'll definitely keep in mind and see what's going on with that. But I hope that he's doing okay. We'll probably find out either tomorrow or either on Tuesday, when Callahan's going to speak tomorrow to the media. So we'll find out then. Another thing before I pivot myself to college football, because I'm pretty done talking about the Titans, is that, I mean, what do you guys expect next week? You know, I'll tell you all this, is that this team looked better overall. It didn't look like on paper the penalties and all that stuff. The defense looked way better though, and that's really encouraging to see. I feel like tackling was a little better today. I feel like there's some stuff last year we talked about was a disaster. I don't think this is a 3-win team. I think this is close to a 5-win team or 6-win team, like I talked about earlier. I'm not concerned on later in the season we're going to have better games, but it is frustrating when you almost had a game against a playoff team when the quarterback for Denver, Bo Nix, didn't even look that sharp. So, again, my point is that they had this game. They didn't take their opportunities. That's what I'm going to say about that. Anyway, that's it for that, because I'm done getting frustrated. I'm sorry y'all had to see me freaking frustrated, but I'm done about that. Let's talk about some good, interesting college football scores, and then we'll talk about what we're doing next week as we're learning about the podcast. So, yes, new name change, Titan Report Podcast. This is going to be the new name of the channel. I am actually going to get some stuff behind me. I'm working on that right now. I'm trying to do that. I just was waiting. The name change was actually going to be for a while. I knew about this a long time ago. But I just wanted to do it on the first day of the season to make it kind of right. So I feel like this is a good time to do it, especially right now. I'm very glad what I did about that. Shout out also to Six and Peabody today. If y'all haven't checked that out, it's a brewery in Nashville. Very fun time. I did not drink myself because I didn't want to drink. But if you're going to go with friends or family to go drink, definitely go check it out. Nashville, actually not too far away, probably 20 minutes, probably easily 10 minutes from the stadium. Nice parking. Good atmosphere overall. Fans are living in there. Great. Wow, it was a great time overall. There's some Denver fans in there. It's a lot of fans for the NFL team. I saw like Cardinals jersey. I saw a Saints jersey in there. I saw a Packer fan. Lions were there. So a good time in Nashville today. Really, really did enjoy that. And excited for next week against the Rams. because that's my dad's team. So dads and I are very excited about to go in Nashville for that. Couple games. There's like a lot of blowouts on Sunday, but a lot of close ones too. Ohio State beat Grambling 70-0. Penn State won 34-0 versus FIU. LSU, another one, close game, 23-7 over Louisiana Tech. Georgia beat Austin Pavey. Miami won 45-0 against Breathitt and Cookman. Oregon won 69-3 against Oklahoma State. Clemson almost got upset here, 27-16. Illinois won 45-19 against Duke. South Carolina won against South Carolina State, 38-10. Arizona State got upset by Mississippi State, 24-20. Another upset, South Florida upset Florida, 18-16 today. Again, Florida State just keeps kicking some butt, 77-3 against East Texas A&M. Oklahoma upset Michigan, 24-13. Iowa State barely got the win, 16-13. Baylor upset SMU, 48-45. Texas A&M won 44-22. Ole Miss won 30-23 against Kentucky. I'm trying to think of a couple other ones here. And then Tennessee won 72-17 against ETSU. But that's pretty much most of the ones all week that were kind of exciting. USC did win 59 to also 14 as well. Good to see that from my Trojans as well. I do want to give a shout to the boys. It means 59-20. My bad. Just pardon me. But anyway, that's it from me on that perspective. Anyway, so what we're going to do now is for the podcast, and this is kind of what's going to happen. It's going to be, we're going to have one episode a week in the middle of the week. It's likely going to be Friday. I like Fridays now, since what's going on for my work, my schedule, and everything like that. So Fridays, we're going to have an episode at noon. So that's going to be the game preview. Ram preview also going to be on Friday. That's what we're kind of going to do now. And then this podcast is going to be out after the game. The reason why it's so late is because the game was so late. Got home late, had to eat late. So it was just my apologies on that for this being out 2.5 hours after the game. That's kind of what's going to be usually. It's probably going to be about like 2.5 after the game, just depending when I get home also from the stadium also. Hopefully next week it'll be around maybe, 6 at the latest. But I'm very grateful. We're almost at 200 on Instagram, YouTube. We're at almost 30 as well. So it's been really, really good number-wise. And I appreciate every single one of y'all who have been checking out the show, wherever y'all have been checking it out. But I might have some merch maybe. That could maybe. It's not 100%, but I might make just like a couple shirts just for myself. If y'all, I'll let personally you guys know. I'll probably make about like 100 or something of them. I might just make them, have my face on them just for no reason. Just, it might be fun. Might donate to a charity. So this is not going to be my money. I'm going to find a charity that I like in Middle Tennessee that does good work. And then we're going to donate that money wherever that's going to go, donate that money to charity. So that's what I'm planning to do. We're going to get some new decorations behind me. I've been taking a long time on that. I apologize. I know you guys are staring at a blank wall in episode 11. We're going to get some stuff right here, hopefully by Sunday of next week. And then I'm going to have stuff. I'm going to have a banner behind me of Nissan Stadium and then some Stein stuff. So we're going to break it all down. I'm talking about it whenever it gets here. And it's not here yet. I got to go do some stuff with that. But anyway, that's stuff on the future podcast. Almost 20 minutes with this episode. All right. I'm pretty much done yapping and talking. I got to upload this. It's almost 9 o'clock here in Nashville. But appreciate y'all staying, watching the whole show. If y'all can share a family member if you're a Titan fan. Let me know your thoughts down below, what you think about week number 1. If you guys did stay to the end, we'll actually talk about some matchups actually next on Friday, on week number 2 as well. Some pretty good ones, and also excited for the Rams to come to Nashville. They did get the win against Houston today, so pretty much everyone else won in the AFC South. Jags and Colts won today. Now Texans, Houston, and us lost today. So pretty frustrating loss, but I'm still happy the team overall. Excited for next week. All right, can't wait to see y'all next week. I'll see you on Friday afternoon. Hope you have a good rest of your week, and hope y'all are watching some football. Tied up.